Chapter 24 Comprehension Learning Time. The basic idea for giving comprehension passages is to create an interest in the students for reading. They should be able to recognize the organization of the passage, identify the main parts of it, and understand or guess the meaning of some new words in a given context, and also be able to answer the given questions on a correct manner. While attempting questions, we should keep the following points in our minds. 1. Read the passage twice to understand the theme and the main idea given in the passage. 2. After understanding the passage, read the question based on the passage. Search for their answers in the passage. 3. Go through the questions and answers again. 4. Now write down the answers in your own words. 5. Ensure that the answers are clear, brief, to the point, and free from irrelevant details. 6. Use the same tense in answering questions in which they are asked. 1. Read the following passage. Wealth and service is happiness. The greatest crime in India today is idleness. If we root our laziness, all our difficulties, including our conflicts, will gradually disappear. Whether as a constable or a high official of the state, whether as a businessman or an industrialist, an artisan or a farmer, each one of us should perform his or her obligation to the state and make a contribution to the welfare of the country. Honest work is the only choice which we should adopt if we want to be saved from danger and difficulty. It is the basic law of progress. Answer the following question on the basis of above passage. 1. Give a suitable title for the above passage. 2. Summarize the above passage in about 55 words. 3. Explain the portion in bold letters. 4. What duties and responsibilities should be carried out by each one of us? Let me answer. Have you ever written a comprehension of your school? 2. Read the following passage carefully. The Indira Gandhi National Open University (IGNOU) was established under the Human Resource Ministry to provide education to those who have been left out by the conventional system. This means that a wide number of people who cannot be accommodated in campus-style institution of learning will now be able to fulfill their desire for an education. The open system of education provides reasonable relaxation in entry or admission requirements. Those who have no 10+2 background can register for graduation and other vocational courses if they have in-service experience or do a bridge course. The age limit is relaxed considerable and the student who may be employed or a housewife may study at his or her own pace. Thus, graduation may be completed in 8 years. Vocational courses like management, computers, water management, and library science are now open to a larger section than campuses can afford. The study centers of the university where the students are free, not obliged, to come to consult counselors and watch educational videos are located in existing institutions of each district headquarters. The use of existing infrastructure and human resource in the form of part-time counselors or teachers of various institutions minimizes the cost of education. This system of education is affordable than conventional education. This further widens the catchment area of open education. Today, the university is offering 400 courses to about 2 lakh students. The IGNOU has further been given the task of coordinating the updating the course offered by 44 correspondence institutes and 5 states open universities by networking and avoiding duplication of efforts. The Open University will assist in economizing the whole distance education system in the country. The system still has teething problems like irregular dispatch of materials, printed books to students, but the system, once it catches on, will make a mark in the development of education in India. Now answer the following questions. 1. Give a suitable title for the above passage. 2. What is the aim of IGNOU? 3. How are students being benefited by IGNOU? 4. How many courses are being offered by the university? 5. Is establishing a university like IGNOU the right step by the government in the field of education? Comment. 3. Read the following passage. Man and his works are two different things, whereas a good work should call forth approbation, and the wicked dead. This approbation, the doer of the work, whether good or wicked, always deserves respect or pity as the case may be. Hate the sin and not the sinner is a precept which, though easy enough to understand, is rarely practiced. And that is why the poison of hatred spreads in the world. This form of ahimsa, non-violence, is the basis of search for truth. I am realizing every day that the search is in vain unless it is founded on ahimsa as the basis. It is quite proper to resist and attack a system, but to resist and attack its author is tantamount to resisting and attacking oneself. For we are all tarred with the same brush and are the children of one and the same Creator, and as such the divine powers within us are infinite. To slight a single human being is to slight those divine universe powers, and thus to harm not only that being but with him the whole universe. On the basis of above passage, answer the following questions. 1. Give a suitable title for the above passage. 2. Explain the portion in bold letters. 3. Summarize Mahatma Gandhi's view on ahimsa as given in the above passage. 4. Read the following passage. The Taj Mahal is one of the most beautiful buildings in the world. More than 300 years ago, Emperor Shah Jahan built the Taj Mahal as a tomb for his wife. Shah Jahan loved his wife very much. He wanted his tomb to be perfect. He did not care about time or money. He found the finest workmen in Asia. Altogether, over 20,000 different men worked on the building. It took over 17 years to finish it. The building rests on a platform of sandstone. 4 slender white towers or minarets rise from the corners of the terrace. A large dome rises from the center of the building. Around this large dome there are smaller domes. The building is made of fine white marble with inlays of colored marble. It has 8 sides and many open arcs. There is an open corridor just inside the outer walls. From the corridor, the visitor looks through carved marble screens at a central room. The bodies of Shah Jahan and his wife lie in a tomb below the room. Now answer the following questions on the basis of the above passage. 1. What kind of tomb did Shah Jahan want to build? 2. What is the main building of the Taj Mahal made of? 3. Why did Shah Jahan build the Taj Mahal? 4. Where do the bodies of Shah Jahan and his wife lie? 5. How many men worked on the buildings and how long did they take to finish it? 5. Read the following passage. One day, George Washington was riding along a road. He was not in the dress of the general. He was in simple clothes. He looked like a common man. On the way, he saw some soldiers trying to lift a heavy log onto the bank of a dry river. A corporal, a petty officer, was standing nearby. He was shouting at them, "Hurry up! Push it in this way! Pull it! Now lift it!" For a few minutes, George Washington watched the soldiers. They were trying to lift the heavy log with all their might, but it was so heavy that they could not lift it. They needed just one man more to lift it. George Washington turned to the corporal and said, "Excuse me, sir, the log is too heavy for these soldiers to lift. Why don't you help them?" The corporal looked at the George Washington and said, "How can I help them? Don't you see that I am the corporal, their officer?" "I am sorry, Mr. Corporal," said George Washington, getting off his horse. "I don't know that you were such a great man." He took off his coat, went to the soldiers and helped them with all his might. At the very first attempt, the log was on the bank. Then he put on his coat, got on his horse and said to the corporal, "Mr. Corporal, whenever you have such a difficult job to do and don't have enough men with you, call me for help. I don't think it below my dignity to help the poor soldiers when they need someone's help. I thank you very much for your help, gentlemen," said the corporal. "Who are you?" "I am the general," replied George Washington and went his way. The corporal hung his head in shame. He went on looking at George Washington, praising his greatness. Now answer the following questions on the basis of the above passage. 1. Who was George Washington? 2. What were the soldiers doing? 3. Did George Washington help them? 4. Why could the soldiers not lift the log? 5. How did the corporal feel when George Washington told him who he was? Teachers, note, with the help of comprehensions and various types of writing skill questions, assist students in understanding the proper way to compose sentences.